Hello, beloved. How are you doing today? I trust you're doing great. Welcome. We have a very important topic to discuss, and the topic says a loving heart. Doesn't that sound interesting to you? Please come on and listen more. So, the critical question in this topic is, can a loving heart that has the capacity to love, to care, still hurt at the same time? Isn't that intriguing? Come on, let's dive in and learn more. So first, we're going to start by defining what love is. In the world of today, we always assume that we know what love is. Actually find out what it is. So the dictionary definition of love says that love is a complex, multifaceted emotion and action. So love is a multifaceted emotion and action involving deep commitment towards a person, animal, or a concept. That's like a bogus definition of love. But I just want to pick a few things from this definition, which is that love is a multifaceted emotion and action. So what this is telling me is that it's not enough to have emotional attachment to someone and call it love if it doesn't have a corresponding action that actually demonstrates that love. So you see, now one of the main human needs that is connection, having that human connection. And again, the main thing that love facilitates is caring action, empathy, desire for loved ones and loved ones' well-being. So I was trying to explain to us is that one of the main needs of human is to be seen, to be appreciated, to be accepted, right? These are some of the core needs of human beings. So now, the definition of love is trying to tell us that love is not just emotion, that it has to have what accompanying action. So what are the forms of love? That's the next question I want us to go. So in the triangular theory of love, it tells us that love it has three aspects, three main forms of love. Companionship, which is the intimacy part. Then you have the romantic part, and then you have the self-giving, the commitment part of love, right? So again, the main thing in this love is that love provides security and acceptance, regardless of the form. So regardless of the form, if it's just the commitment one, or if it's the self-giving type of love, or if it's like a romantic love where couples are involved, right? The main thing is that it has to do with security and acceptance, because that is what love provides, right? So again, what are the expressions of love? Expressions of love is through empathy, through support, through dedication, and through affection, right? These are the ways that we express love. In the world of today, people think it's just buying flowers and just giving to your loved one. Maybe on Valentine's Day, you give them flowers to show love and all that, or even to send messages, you'd be emotionally attached to someone. But there is a different love I want us to talk about, and that is the love of Christ. And that is the love of Christ. Real love. Because this love is real. Because it accompanied with action. Remember our emotion. Remember our definition says that love has to encompass emotion and action. And now Christ is love. That's what the Bible tells us. That God is love. Anyone who does not love does not know God at all. Like, you can't even say you're a child of God if you don't love and if you're not loving. You see? So again, here, we're going to define heart. We will do it just to understand what we're really talking about. We know that heart is one of the organs in the body. In fact, it's the main organ in the body. It's of the cardiovascular system, and then has a network of blood vessels that pumps blood throughout the body. What is the main function of the heart? The heart is like central powerhouse of the body. This science student. But the main thing is that heart keeps us alive. The moment our heart dies, right, we stop living. So now let's go back to our topic. I'm taking us somewhere. A loving heart. So what is your heart like, if I may ask? What is your heart like? Are you loving? Are you lovable? Do you demonstrate your love? How do you express this love? Come with me. I want to show us, because like I said, Christ, is love itself. Jesus is love itself, right? So how did he demonstrate that? He is the epitome of a loving heart. That's where I'm taking us to. So now we're going to take lessons from Jesus. We're going to read Romans 5 verse 8. Here the Bible tells us, but God has shown us how much he loves us. It was while we were still sinners that Christ died for us. So while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Another Bible will say that, but God clearly shows and proves his own love for us by the fact that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So you see what I'm saying? Even God himself needed to prove his love for us. God himself needed to associate an action to his love by sending his only begotten Son to die for us. We know that through the sin of Adam and Eve that we cut off from God. But God, in his loving heart, sent us his only begotten Son. He died for us to bear the consequences of sins he did not commit, to pay the price for us in full so that we might be free. This is a loving heart, brothers and sisters. This is a loving heart. There is no better love than this, that he laid down his life for our sake. He put it down. He sacrificed. Love that has sacrifice that is accompanied with it, brothers and sisters. This is a true loving heart. This is what it means to have a loving heart. It's not the type of love that we show in our world today, that even in the slightest provocation, the same people who say that they love hurt deeply the ones that they love. That is not love. I'm not saying it because I am perfect, but I'm saying it because this is a lesson for us to learn. It is a lesson for us to learn that Christ himself is the epitome of a loving heart. A heart that loves even when the beneficiary of that love does not even recognize it, even when they don't acknowledge it, even when they are not aware. He's still able to demonstrate his love and follow it up with an action of dying on the cross. Sisters, this is a true and a sincere loving heart. And this is what this text is calling us all. It's calling us today. Christ didn't die. We won't be accepted. We won't be able to share in the Lordship of Jesus Christ. We will not be co-heirs of the kingdom of God. We will not have the Holy Spirit that is in us today helping us through life, helping us navigate the difficulties of this life. If not for that love that Christ demonstrated, we would have been doomed and we would have been condemned to death. Brothers and sisters, that is a loving heart. And again, Jesus also, like I said, we're learning lessons from Jesus. Jesus also demonstrated what truly it means to have a loving heart in Mark 6 verse 34. In Mark 6 verse 34, because of time, I'm just going to read the text to us. What happened here is at the point where Jesus multiplied the bread. Where Jesus multiplied the bread, the Bible told us that Jesus went to the shore where he saw a large crowd waiting. And he was moved with compassion. And why was he moved with compassion? He said because they were like sheep without a shepherd. They were roaming about. They don't have no form of guidance. And his heart was filled with compassion for them. And what did he do? He began to teach them. Out of the overflowing love and compassion that he had for the crowd, he took action, brothers and sisters. It did not just end to him saying, oh, what is this? Oh, he took action to back up that love, to back up that compassion that he felt, that he had for them in that moment. So you see, he began to teach them. And he did not just end at that. In verse 36 of that same Mark 6 verse 34, the Bible told us that at a point that the disciples wanted to send the crowd away because it was getting dark and you were in an isolated place and they have not had anything to eat. They were hungry. And what did Jesus reply them? He said in verse 37, he said, but he replied, you give them something to eat. You take an action. God is calling us to take action today. If you say you love, if you say you are a child of God, even if you have not known God before, I'm welcoming you. I'm bringing you into this love of Christ, which is the true and the sincere love, which is a loving heart that is ever large to accommodate, to accept, to empathize with anyone who comes to him. So even if you're not a believer, this message is still for you. Come to Christ. Come to Jesus. Jesus is love. He is the love of God that is made manifest in our lives today, in our world today. He's the access we have to enjoying everlasting life. So you see, when Jesus admonished his disciples, he said, give them something to eat. So that is telling us today that God is admonishing us that we shouldn't just profess it with our mouths that we love. Let our actions show it. Let our actions demonstrate that love. Let our actions speak loud. Give them something to eat. If you love someone, don't hurt the person. If you say you love people, or you are moved by compassion with what somebody is going through, this is a call for action. God is calling us today for action, to back our love, not just emotionally, but to back it up with an action. And finally, so you see, and what did he do? Remember, we talked about him seeing them about without a shepherd. He started teaching them. Now the disciples are telling him that they have nothing to eat. He tells them something to eat, and then he requires of them, what do you have? You understand? And this is where the multiplication, miracle of multiplication of bread and fish happened. And the whole crowd, the rest of the story, the whole crowd was fed. They were fed, and they even have a lot of remaining. So you see, again, the Bible tells us in John 2 verse 2 about the miracle at Cana. What happened? Now, Jesus and his disciples were invited to a wedding, and the celebrants ran out of wine. And what did the mother of Jesus do? She noticed that they ran out of wine. Was she the only person invited to that ceremony? No. How come she was the only one that noticed? Of course, the Bible did not tell us that a lot of people noticed and they were around thinking of what to do or trying to do something about the wine that ran out. What did the mother of God do? She noticed, and again she went to Jesus. She said, their wine has finished. Or some Bible verses will say, they have no wine. And why did she do that? She even did it without the knowledge of the celebrants, without causing any chaos, without intruding in the ceremony that was going on. She did it without anybody knowing what she was doing. Why? Because she was moved with love. And then she knows that her son is full of love, that when such report comes to him, of course he will not want the celebrants as well to be put to shame. And what did she do? She even moved forward in her faith to ask the disciples to say, whatever he asks you to do, go and do it. A follow-up, brothers and sisters. That is the core of everything I'm telling us today. Love must be followed up with action. God is calling us today to love as he would love, to feel compassion as he will feel, to have a loving heart like him. Brothers and sisters, our world will be a better place. It will be a better place. Our families will be better off. Our relationships will be better off. We'll be stronger. We'll be much stronger. And we'll be able to care for each other. Let's today, with full arms, embrace this call of each other as God would, as Jesus would, with love, with words of emotion and actions. I hope you're blessed today. And please follow me for more, like and subscribe. See you in the next episode. Bye. Bye. Later.